What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video here, Chris's MMA Universe. For this video here, I just want to touch on a little bit of some recent news about Anthony Rumble Johnson coming back to the UFC. He's actually supposedly abandoning his heavyweight plans on fighting at heavyweight and wants a 205 match against the 205 Kingpin right now, which is Jon Jones. And I know they had like some unfinished business, and I know Jon Jones actually said that himself, where there was some unfinished business with Anthony Rumble Johnson, and he would love to fight him. But then Anthony Johnson ended up retiring. But I think right now would be the best time for them to fight. The only thing is, I don't see Anthony Johnson being able to just come back and cut in line to actually fight Jon Jones. I mean, if we all remember, Anthony Rumble Johnson's last losses, which were his last two fights in the UFC, were both against DC. And he lost those fights. They were pretty much mirror images of each other. He lost the exact same way. And honestly, I know in the very first fight with DC versus Rumble Johnson, I know Rumble Johnson caught him with that big right hand where DC pretty much flew across the octagon, and I don't know, it looked pretty fun, right? But then ultimately DC took him down, and it looked like Anthony Johnson just gave up. And it looked like he gave up. Like, he looked like he officially gave up in that second fight between the two men. And it just seemed like as soon as DC would, grab a hold of him, it just looked like Anthony just went down. Like he just allowed himself to go down. Like he kind of helped DC take him down. You know what I mean? And I know Rumble Johnson, he can knock out any man standing. But I do believe he would have to fight at least 2 times, at least one good time to end up being able to fight Jon Jones. And of course, Jon Jones, if Jon Jones wants to accept it, then it will happen. But I still believe that the UFC will want to put Anthony Johnson up against somebody, first, and then end up seeing if, Anthony Johnson can, actually fight Jon Jones, see if that match can get made and actually, follow through on it. But, it's just, not only that, Anthony Johnson has to enter the USADA pool, which I'm not sure if he entered it yet. I don't know the latest news on that, but I know he would have to enter the USADA pool, which takes up to 6 months. And then after that, he would actually have to cut weight to get down to 205. I mean, Anthony Rumble Johnson right now is very huge. I mean, I think he's like somewhere in the 240s, 250s. I mean, he's up there. So he would actually have to cut a tremendous amount of weight to get down to 205, feel comfortable at 205, feel comfortable after cutting that amount of weight. And I know Jon Jones was saying something about, he would like to move up, to go to heavyweight anyway. So it would make sense for them to fight if Anthony Johnson was comfortable with it. But, Jon Jones would have to pack on weight and actually have to add on a significant amount of weight. I think he said he would want to get up to maybe 230, 235, and then, see if he feels comfortable with that weight on him, and then see if he would, fight Anthony Johnson at heavyweight. So there's really no telling if that fight will even get made. There's an article on it that you can find online, and I know Anthony Johnson was close to 300 pounds. So he can actually be closer to 300. I'm just guessing 240, 250. But don't quote me on that because I'm not 100%. But I know that was a fight that they do want to, they were talking about. But it doesn't mean that fight's even going to make it. It could be far-fetched. Because who knows if Anthony Johnson would just end up staying at heavyweight, which would be exciting to see Anthony Johnson versus Francis Ngannou. And I know they were saying, if he ends up abandoning heavyweight plans, then, there goes the whole, Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Johnson dream fight. That fight's out the window. But I did make a video on Anthony Rumble Johnson coming back to the UFC, and I was talking about him fighting Francis Ngannou, so make sure you check that video out. But I really want to know what you guys think about this fight. Do you guys even think this fight's going to happen? Do you think it's possible? I mean, it definitely is possible because they did make it before, but I really want to know what you guys think on whether or not this fight will actually be made and at what weight class. And who do you think will win and how? I really want to know what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoy this video, make sure you smash that like button. If you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see all you guys in the next one.